Man, people, tonight is exciting because we get to talk some of our favorite things, Bigfoots and all that. But we got somebody special for you all. He's a writer, director of documentaries. He actually has a new movie out that came out last Friday called The Pit, and we'll talk about The Pit a little bit towards the end. So we hear, we'll do the final pitch on it for you guys. But documentaries, and we're right into it. I'm going to go right into it. I was impressed with your documentary about the Skunk Ape Lives.
Right.
Because I want to bring this up because I'm not from Florida. Of course, I'm nowhere near Florida. I'm like 3,000 miles away. I know the word Bigfoot, and I know the word Sasquatch. I've heard Dogman, Mothman, stuff like that. But to be honest with you, I never really heard Skunk Ape until I started talking to Connor. And I was like, what is a skunk ape? Is it Bigfoot? Is it just what Florida people call skunk ape? And I want everybody to know that you can, I want to make sure it's all right with you. You have a documentary, Skunk Ape, that you can actually watch on YouTube. Is that a place you prefer people to watch it if they wanted to?
Well, actually, we fell victim to the Trump ban.
Oh.
Okay, so like after January 6th, that whole load of shit that went down, the Amazon's like, all right, we're purging all this content because people started because with Prime, you can make your own movie. You don't need a distributor, and you can just throw it on there. Well, for the Skunk Ape Lives, we used Film Hub, which was a mistake. Anybody that's making films, never use Film Hub. You have to completely trust them, but that's another story. Anyways, so they just started snatching titles from people who didn't have like bigger distributors, right? Because they were trying to purge all of this content, the right-wing content. And for whatever reason, our shit fell into this algorithm, and they snatched it off of Amazon. It's still on all these other platforms, but many people don't have them. So YouTube is more or less the best one. And my buddy, Survivor Man, he watched the movie before I released it, and he loved it. And he asked if he could put it on his YouTube. So we were like, hell yeah, you could put it on your YouTube, dude. That'd be cool as hell. So.
Yeah, so everybody, I put the YouTube channel right there in the chat. You guys make sure you click on it and check it out because it's a very good documentary. Because I'll be honest, I didn't know too much about a skunk man, and I want people to watch this. But I'm just going to ask you, when people hear the skunk man,
Skunk Ape,
skunk man,
well, skunk man is honestly skunk man is honestly a better name. Because I think he is a human hybrid more than a monkey.
If a lot of people are like me, they don't know this. Is Bigfoot is skunk ape another name for Bigfoot, or is it another kind of a breed of Bigfoot?
Well, it could be a few different things. So you have like our white-tailed deer. Okay. They're just smaller. We're closer to the equator. It falls under, like, I think Bergman's law. So everything that gets closer to the equator, all the animals get smaller. The heat or whatnot, it changes it. So we have a Florida panther here. Okay, it is the same thing as a cougar. It's smaller. It's slightly different. It gets to be its own like subspecies. So we may be dealing with something like that. We could very well be dealing with something completely different altogether. You just have so many variances. I think what we have in Florida are Bigfoots and skunk apes. Because I got 400 reports I've taken myself. A good 30% of those are talking about a very orangutan type creature. Okay. Ain't got jack shit to do with Bigfoot. This thing doesn't look like a human to a lot of people. There's like 4-toed tracks that come out. So I think what we may be having, especially here in North Florida, where we're at, like the Torreya area and other places along the coast, is we may have Bigfoots because of them coming down. I believe maybe they come to in like the Smokies and then end up on the Chattahoochee River, which runs from northern Georgia all the way down to Florida. And there's reports all up and down the river. So it makes sense that these things may have just come down. So we have some Bigfoots here. But my personal belief, we have the two. You know, we have the skunk apes in southern Florida, central Florida, and then the Bigfoots up here. I could be wrong. All of it's speculation.
I think that's a perfect description, honestly, because the Myakka skunk ape is clearly a different species or type of breed than, say, Patty. And look at it. It has sharp teeth. It definitely looks more like a monkey orangutan. I bet it does have 4 little paws, So, yeah, that's very, very great description. Definitely. And could you tell the people how it originally got the name skunk ape?
So up here in northern Florida, there were some guys, they were playing golf, and they were well-respected people. So when they went to the paper with their story, it was like a kind of a front page thing. So they reported seeing a gorilla-type creature. Okay. That I don't really remember if it was like on all fours or anything, but they thought it was a gorilla type creature, and it had a white stripe down the top of its head like a skunk. So they gave it the name skunk ape. It has nothing to do with the smell, even though you would think it. The smell from these creatures, I've smelled it one time, and that's it. And it was fairly recently, about 4 years ago, probably. So what it smelled like was a rotting corpse following me down the side of the road. Okay, that was what was weird about it, because I could go this way 10 feet and I wouldn't smell it. I go this way 10 feet and wouldn't smell it, but right here I'd smell it. And then I'd get down to where I didn't smell it, and so it seemed to be following me. I was with a group of people, but if that's what they're mentioning, when they say, "Oh, we seen it and then we smell this horrid smell," it is one of the worst. It smells like death.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was in your documentary where the guy talked about the stripe, and I think there was only one guy in the documentary that talked about a smell. But
yeah, a lot of people who mention the smell say the savage ones smell more like the skunk and the horrible smell, because the skunks have that line of spray, and if they're savage, they'll just eat the thing whole. But if it's like a family of Sasquatch, they'll pick it apart and they won't smell. But I've also heard that they just go to the bathroom just straight down, so a lot of their fur is a little crusty in those areas, and if they're like white or lighter fur, you can see the dirty stuff real bad. But Stacy got some great footage with his dad in Torreya State Park that made the grounds in all of the Bigfoot world.
Yeah,
it was on
I got that
Bigfoot
right here on the documentary.
What I say is it is the best civilian thermal footage ever recorded of Bigfoot, because it shows a full body silhouette, and it is just incredible. And
I'm going to show that. I'm actually going to show that for anybody just join in. Stacy Brown Jr. is the director of some movies. He made a brand new actual adventure movie, that's not documentary, called The Pit, but he made a movie called The Skunk Ape Lives. And guys, I'm going to put in the chat again the link so you guys can check out this documentary. But one of his documentary, what Connor was talking about, is he caught this footage, and like you said in the video, it says one of the best footages ever. Whatever they call it. And
thermal.
Here's what I found.
Well, sorry, Alexa was going off.
Or is it thermal or night vision? What do you like to classify it as, Stacy?
It's a thermal.
Thermal.
My cameras went down. Hold on, I'm trying to get this back up. I don't.
Yeah, you're right. You did call
really
it
know what's
thermal.
going on with it. It just stops.
No problem. And
no worries. I see the walking legend here. Altered Cortex Design, Captain Dan Rum. A lot of good people are representing. Thank you very much. Me and Altered Cortex Design are actually working on a Halloween short film for the Cap City Video Lounge Film Festival. So we're really looking forward to that. It's about to be magical, and we already found some crazy caveman prints that I casted yesterday with the Walking Legend, and it's pretty remarkable stuff.
So, guys, I'm going to show you the clip of the thermal, but what's so cool about this, guys, when you watch this, Stacy in the documentary himself said that he didn't even know what he had. So he actually had a guy analyze it, somebody from the outside to analyze his video, to back up what he thinks it might be. So it's very cool. I want you guys to see this scene from his documentary.
Stacy knew what he had. He was just had to, he wanted to confirm it.
Well, you always got to confirm something because there's always people who are not going to believe on what you have.
For sure.
You have more people. Now, of course, you can't please everybody. There's always going to be people saying, well, he's probably paying. And I like how this guy took your height and try to image on how tall this thing could be. And like I said, guys, if you guys just saw that one little clip, you can see the quality of that documentary is really good. He did some great interviews of different people out through the whole video. And what I like, Stacy, I like what you said at the end, really. You're not here to make everybody like a believer. You just want to show your passion, show people you found, and you want to share it. And I always appreciated that because you weren't pushing anything on anybody. You're just like, this is what I love. This is what I saw. And I'm here to share it and share stories with you.
Yeah, well, I think anytime you talk on a real taboo subject, something of this nature, when you come across as, hey, I'm telling you it's real, you got to believe me, and if you don't believe me, I'm going to get my feelings hurt kind of thing. You're pushy. I think that turns people away. All I'm trying to tell people is, listen, I've seen one. Okay, so I'm not in your shoes. All right, I understand. I need proof to back up my claims. I've got some pretty good proof.
Definitely.
Let's fucking look at all of the tracks, the audio I have, my father's footage. Who else has got the shit like that? It's kind of, this is yours. So, hey, I'm also, once again, not saying you should believe any of this shit because you weren't there when it happened or any of that. What I'm trying to say is not only my claims. Let's listen to other people. Let's look at the history. Let's look at the very odd things that have happened. And is there not enough here, in your opinion, after learning all this stuff? Is there not enough, in your opinion, for us to investigate it further? Maybe be like, all right, hey, okay, I didn't know all that shit. I just thought Bigfoot was weird, so I was telling you no, so you didn't think I was crazy. But actually look at what we have. You know what I mean? Look at the evidence we do have. Why can't this get some type of funding? Why can't this, like a university, decide, hey, actually, we're going to send some people long-term to look and see if we can figure any of this out? We've got police reports, legitimate police reports from the 70s, okay, where they put dogs on this thing, or they seen it for the longest time, and then it goes into a swamp pit and never comes out.
Yep.
They put helicopters on it.
We had a ranger down in Apalachicola National Forest too, and that story is
right. But there's things that were very big in the 70s and in the 80s, in the 90s with the skunk ape. Okay. And well-known people dude, I've got a witness that works at NASA. He's a fucking rocket scientist. This is one of the most legit people you could talk to. Seen it in the daytime, riding his boat. It was like a creek, and it had sawgrass. So the damn thing come up out the sawgrass and was screaming and throwing mud at him. This man's not crazy.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So what, are you calling him a liar? Okay, let's just say one person's telling the truth. Out of all the I got 400 something reports. Let's say one of them's telling the truth. Is that not warranting the proper study?
They waste money on other projects that doesn't do shit for people. I mean, I don't see why not. But you did something also different because, listen, if you wanted the more views and clicks, it would have been easier for you to call the movie Bigfoot Lives, Sasquatch Lives. You're taking a chance because you're calling it something that most Americans like myself, I didn't even know what a skunk ape was until I watched your documentary. So, you're taking a chance where you're not just asking somebody to watch my video. Take a chance. I know it's called skunk ape, but it is an offset of Bigfoot, because some people might accept Bigfoot, but when you start naming other names, they might not. And it takes a lot of guts to I'm going to call this skunk ape. I'm not going to call it Sasquatch Lives or Bigfoot Lives.
Well, it's not. You know what I mean? So, that's the thing. I want everything I put in that documentary. That's my work for 7 years. I pull the best out. Okay. And I straight up, I told the truth with everything to the best of I presented everything, in a crystal clear manner. I don't want, because what I'm trying to tell you is that there's a fucking 8-foot tall creature running around the woods. Okay. So I'm starting off with that. That is my presentation. Okay. So if you just read the Cliff Notes and you see 8-foot tall hairy creature running around my backyard. Okay, yeah, sure, bud. Well, how are you gonna buy those Girl Scout cookies when the person's trying to sell them to you like that?
Well, this is, I'm not gonna play the whole scene because we only have a little bit, but you have a scene in the movie where you're talking to a guy who worked for range for over 20 years, and the story that they told was pretty amazing. That when they hit this thing, they didn't even know what it was. They had an idea what it was. And it was almost like a Men in Black kind of a story where they're told to go back to the workplace, fill out paperwork. Then 2 guys showed up, made them go back out there, and then basically telling them, "No, it's a bear," like forcing them to change their story so they don't come out. And I want to ask you something. Now, this worker, after he did this video, does he still have his job? They didn't figure who he was, and is he still?
He doesn't have his job anymore, but it wasn't because of that.
Oh, it wasn't because of this. Okay.
He's retired now.
He's retired. Okay.
Yeah. So, but no, he kept his job.
But I mean,
you know what I mean?
You have video evidence. You have people who work there, taking a chance, telling you these stories.
I have enough of circumstantial evidence to convict somebody for murder.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, people have been put in prison for the rest of their fucking life for less.
A lot less. Yeah, just Stacy's table was decked out. He had casts, and then, of course, just his documentary just has historical events that go back hundreds of years, eyewitness accounts with rangers and other credible people, and then, his footage himself, and then his other encounters that he came across. It's piles, man. Again, it would be guilty in court.
Right. And one of my favorite, because this, like I said, this goes back, the Seminole, the Creek, all of them have these reports. So, and they're even into South Georgia, but there's one called Man Mountain, right? It's pretty cool. It's about these guys, these Indians that went into the swamp and they became lost, turned around or something, which you figure is pretty hard for natives. But so they go out there and they come across these beautiful women. So they said, right? And they were all on death's door. Well, these beautiful women take care of them, nurse them back to health and stuff. And then they tell them they have to leave in a hurry, because that their husbands or the men of the tribe were fierce giants, and they did not care for whatever term they used for those people. But that's, the stories of these things go back, like I said, hundreds of years. The Native Americans, I don't really know of a reason you would come up with this. I don't know why you would make this up. It doesn't make no sense.
Yeah. I want to ask you, I was looking at your IMDb, and I was trying to find this video that you did another documentary. I couldn't find it nowhere. The Roswell, 70 years later. I'm interested to see this documentary. You did this in 2017, but I couldn't find it on any format. I looked on YouTube.
It's on Amazon.
It is on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
I could have sworn I typed it in. I couldn't find it. Okay, I'll try to find it.
It's not really that good. It was the first film I made. It's not bad, but like when I watch it, I'm just like, ah. But so we made this, and then we made the Skunk Ape Lives in January. We filmed that in like October, and we made that Skunk Ape Lives in January. But I didn't like the Skunk Ape Lives, so I played it at the International Bigfoot Conference in 2017 or 2018, and 700 something people watched it. They all gave it standing ovation, clap, told me they loved it. You know,
awesome.
The only negative thing I heard was like, hey, the Southern guys at the beginning that shoot the thing, we got to have subtitles. And well, I know both those guys, so I can understand every word they said. So I had some friends watch them, like, can you understand what this dude says? And they're like, no, fucking really. Okay, so, but anyways, I just didn't like it. My segues were like a narration, kind of like a Seth Breedlove thing. You know what I mean? With Lyle and all that, but it didn't flow. It didn't work for me. And then I was talking to my buddy RPG about it at the film market. I handed it to him and asked him to watch it and just tell me what he thought. And he told me, he's like, dude, you know, you was telling me the other night you got your start Unsolved Mysteries. He's like, do it like Unsolved Mysteries. He's like, walk us into the next segment and you talk about it. He's like, this is you. This is your stuff. We need to see your face, you know. So that's what I did, and I don't mean to say thank God we had COVID, but I was locked in my apartment with not shit to do for a little while. I couldn't go nowhere. So for me, it worked out. You know, I remade that movie and put it out. That's why it come out so late, but it was done 4 months after we filmed it. You know, I filmed in January and we had it done by July, but I was just like, no, I can't do this. It's not there yet. It's not there yet. I still think it could be a lot better. I am going to make another one, and it is going to be a lot better, but I want to make a sequel to it because that one leaves off with me saying basically there's people out there right now at this second looking for proof. You know what I mean? It's that last little speech I give as I'm walking towards the camera, and that's where I want to pick it up. I want to do the next one on the people that research this thing, and I want to find out why they research it. I want to, you know, see their ways and kind of go in that route with the next one.
Well, let's see what you say here. You're right. I love that. I really do. How you're talking to camera, and then like you walk. You're just telling that story.
Right. It's that old Robert Stack, you know, Unsolved Mysteries deal.
Isn't it cool how those little elements, they tell you just to do this and this, and it does actually make a difference.
It does. It made that movie, and then we redid the beginning because like the first few moments of a film need to, like, because people's attention span is zilch right now. So you got 2 minutes tops. Yep. If your movie doesn't grab them in the first 2 minutes, getting to 10 minutes is going to be even harder. But if you successfully snag them with the first 10 minutes or the first 2 minutes, you got them. They'll sit there and watch the whole rest of that movie. And then if they don't like it, they'll be at the end of the movie. They'll be like, damn, that sucked. But that first 2 minutes, they watch the rest of it, you know.
You are 100% correct. Because this last weekend, my wife, we're on Hulu. Like, what do you want to watch? Well, let's just put it on. If you don't like it, we'll just turn the channel or go to another horror movie. And you're right. If it doesn't capture you in the first 10 minutes, or like you said, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, a little chance, and then you're gone like that.
Oh, yeah.
Stacy, what do you got? What do you got to tell us about interviewing monsters and Bigfoot? That movie you made with Tom Green, Les Stroud. And wow, that was a cuckoo one, but it is awesome. It's in Walmart.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So the movie is actually terrible. I fucking hate it. Like my biggest thing is my dad wanted to see it, and I was embarrassed of it. I was fucking embarrassed of this film, so I didn't show my dad, and so he never seen the film. And so that eats me alive. But yeah, it sucks. It's a shit movie. But it was so fun to make, you know what I mean? And I got to meet all these people because, like, when I was a kid, Tom Green was the man.
Yes,
like,
he was.
You know what I mean? He was the man. We loved Tom Green. And then
he was married to that hot actress for a while.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
So the next thing you know, I'm sitting in the fucking drive-through line at McDonald's, and he's like, "I want some sausage. Daddy wants some sausage." He starts doing his "Daddy wants some sausage" shit with the fucking drive-through window, and I am dying. I'm looking at my girlfriend. I'm like, "This is actually happening right now. Can you believe this shit?" You know?
Are you sure it's shit? Because listen, when I'm done with the video, like say I'm done with this, I'm done. I can't watch myself on the screen. Once I'm done, I can't watch it. I can't. I don't like hearing myself.
It's pretty fucking bad, dude.
You know?
I like to hear myself.
You do like to hear yourself?
I like to hear myself. I ain't gonna lie. I enjoy it, but I'm very critical of myself too. But I ain't talking about my parts. Like, I'm an editor, and I could have fucking done way. But I'm not gonna sling mud. The guy made the movie, and it was just a style of movies I don't like. If you like Napoleon Dynamite, it's like shittier than that, but it's that kind of movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you learn steps from everybody who makes a movie. You pull little steps here and there, and like you said,
learned a lot. I did. I got paid a lot, and I learned a lot because that was the real first kind of time I was watching somebody professionally make a movie. You know what I'm saying? And it really got that bug going for me where I was like, when I seen this guy make this movie, this guy that made this movie, like I was like, fuck, bro. I can do that. How is he doing this? You know, like it was. So I figured it out. But it was good. Fun. It was good for me because I'd also just got done with Spike TV and all that shit, and so that I went from seeing all these professionals like in Hollywood, and they were professional. You know what I mean? Like 100% top of the line people making a multi-million-dollar show. Versus this guy who is like the monkey that bangs the cymbals together. Ding, 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 ding. And this dude's making a film. And I mean, great photographer. He shoots really well. He's just a quirky person, and it's not funny to everybody. So there is a niche of people that will like that film. Okay, I'm just not one of them.
Yeah. Can you tell us more about that Spike TV show? You won. And that really helped propel you in the Bigfoot world and really on a national scale, you know. It was on everybody's TV and everybody's household, you know. That
I was on
after UFC.
I was on like fucking Talk Soup when that came out. Like they were making fun of me on Talk Soup because it's first time I'm on TV, right? And guess what the hell I say? Like, I mean, at all the shit somebody could say, I come up with Neil Armstrong's the first person to ever walk on the moon. Stacy Brown's going to be the first motherfucker to find Bigfoot, and that was it. That was it, dude. And so, like, the cameras are rolling and shit 24/7. And the shit that comes out of my mouth shouldn't be a 24/7 deal. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, man, I said some crazy stuff, but it was fun. It was a very cool process. We got to go to all the best spots you want to go to, and they wgood collecting DNA. They would test our DNA, and so I met some really cool contacts. Todd Dissetel, good friend, and Joy. I haven't hung out with him in a while, but very cool. We hung out after the show, and stuff. I got to go to the Ink Master live finale and like party with everybody on like Tower Motel in Manhattan. So it was cool, man. It was a cool experience. Obviously, I got the research grant, and so that's what I did when I won the research grant. I felt that I should use it for research and not just, probably do the smart thing because I just got divorced, like buy a fucking house. But basically what I did was slept on couches for about 2 years and went around and Bigfooted all over the country. You know what I mean? I had money to Bigfoot. Like, so you got to get up and go to your 9 to 5. Mine was get up and go Bigfoot. And that was the best part of it. And that's what got me into that movie with Tom Green. I was actually in Jennings State Forest. I had come out to run to the dollar store to pick up something to eat, I think. And this guy called me, and he's like, "Hey, you Stacy Brown?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's, "I want you to be in my movie with Tom Green and Les Stroud. And at the time, Jerry Springer was in the film as well."
Wow.
Yeah. But he fell out. But so, okay, you get a fucking phone call and somebody's wanting you to be in a movie with, okay, Tom Green, who was my biggest, like, childhood celebrity that I dug. My son, because he had just got out of the, when he was about 3, he quit watching kiddie shows. He started watching Survivor Man. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you want me to be in a film with Survivor Man too? And then Jerry Springer. So I was like, yeah, okay, of course. Yeah, sure. You want Stacy Brown to be in a movie with these guys. And it was, then they told me what they were going to pay me per day because I was supposed to go just to be myself. And they're like, we're paying you $2,500 a day.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. And I'm like, get what? Get the fuck out of here. So I go and I play myself, and they changed my character. They asked me to take a lead role in the film. And they, like, when I told you this guy sounds like the way this man's heads work, some monkey banging his cymbals together, they fired this guy in front of me and gave me the part.
Oh my gosh.
Like, in front of me. I was like, what in the fuck? Out of all the things y'all could have done something a little bit like, because this is awkward. You know what I mean? You just told me, come in and handed me a script and be like, because they talked to me the night before. I knew. But then this guy's sitting in the green room where we're all getting ready, and they come in and straight up tell him, yeah, you're not playing Fran anymore. He's playing Fran. We want you to play this other character, which was basically me. They changed him. I don't know how they did it. They because his death scene, when I'm like killing the guy in the big pot of beef, Missouri bowl beef, that was how I died originally. The Stacy Brown character. So it was fun, man. I did a stunt that they didn't use. I had to jump backwards off of a cliff into some water. And it was like, because in the movie, me and Bigfoot get in this like Peter versus the chicken fight scene,
You right there?
Yeah, that's me. So very long fight scene, and he kills me, shoots me with a gun, I fall off this cliff, right? That's how that ending went. But so when they shot me, I had to jump backwards off this cliff. It's in November in Missouri, cold as shit outside, and it's 90 feet, and I had to do it twice, and then they didn't even use it.
Wow.
It hurts hitting the water at 90 feet.
Oh, 100%. 90 feet, you could die from that. 100%.
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
I come up afterwards. They're like, yeah, 6 people died last year doing that shit.
Yeah, 100%. Because if you land wrong, that's going to kill your organs. But so that was how you met Les Stroud. So really, in the long run, wow, that's 100% worth it just for that.
Yeah, and I got paid really well because when they asked me to be the part, it's like, yeah, but you got to stay here another month. So I stayed there, and filmed, and then the movie was off, and then it was back on. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting in Missouri getting paid to sit there. It sucked. I had no car. I was just in a house, a big ass house. It was myself and my handler. Basically, they had somebody who would like make sure I wasn't fucking doing wrong shit for whatever reason. And they sent me home. They brought me back. When they brought me back one time, we stayed at this winery, and it was a tiger sanctuary. So like right off my balcony was a fucking bunch of tigers and lions and shit. And man, it was badass. That was badass. Like, and then Tom Green's my neighbor during all of that, you know. So it was really cool, man. And you know, and I got to have a shootout with him. Like right at the beginning of the movie, me and him were having a shooting out, and it was cool because I played his nemesis and Les's assistant, so I got to hang out with both of them. Man, it's one of the things I did in my life that forget all the money, you know, because it's gone anyways. So you know, I got the memory.
So now you went from doing a couple documentaries, and now you got a new movie that came out last Friday called The Pit. Now, this is not a documentary. You made an actual movie, not a an actual movie, like a brand new story and all that. So what made you want to go from a documentary and want to attempt to make a movie that's not a documentary?
Well, so like my goal in all this is to end up making a Batman film, like for DC. That is my goal. Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there. But so I had this story. We were filming the Skunk Ape Lives, and it's the part where the old cheesy wild man's getting captured. Well, so I walk out in the woods, take a leak, and my buddy goes, "Hey, be careful out there. There's pits all over these woods, and some of them are super deep." And I was like, boom! It just hit me. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, we're making a movie about that next. And then, so like when I get on an idea, I just like, you know, I'm just going, bro. And so all that came rather quick. Wrote a synopsis, sent it to Les. Les loved the idea. 2 days later, I had all the money to make the film.
Heck yeah, man! And it's an awesome film. The way it really shows a madman losing everything, and then his sanity, and then the fact that you're in it and you play such like a cocky, crazy guy, and while Les's character is more like a family man, it really just the opposites attract and make it go crazy while they're stuck in a hole. It's literally like kind of like Saw and all the other arch nemesis movies, and then it breaks it down to the human core and just the straight instinct of humanity. It's cool. It hits on many levels.
Yeah, and I found it on Vudu, people. I know you can watch it on Vudu. I couldn't find it on Amazon also, but I found it on Vudu. So anybody has Vudu, you could go right to Vudu and you could buy it right there.
Yeah, Amazon. I don't know what happened. Like it's gonna be on Amazon, but like the release date, it was supposed to be the 6th, and it never came out. But it's on iTunes, Google Play, it's on DirecTV, but Dish Network as well. They didn't air it when they were supposed to either. So it's kind of like we released it. You know, all our material has all the platforms it's on, and it's actually only on half of them right now. So that's being scrambled.
You can. Okay.
Yeah. You know, you can rent it, purchase it, but
yeah, because I had that problem. Because I'm like, I'm on where is it? Not on Amazon. Where is it?
Right. Well, everybody goes to Amazon.
But I found it on Vudu. Vudu. So that's really cool. Now, are you in somewhat? I love asking these kind of questions because I always want to attempt to direct a big movie myself. I made a small, stupid little 2-3 minute video. It's just more to laugh at, but is it still a little bit stressful because you wanted to do somewhat well where you could attempt to keep making them? I mean, is it like a little stressful? You want to keep watching it, hopefully that people grab onto it?
You know, the way I look at it is I don't want to worry about any of that. I don't want to worry if the film makes money. Like the Skunk Ape Lives made a lot of money. You know what I mean? Yeah, but we didn't spend but like $2,400 on that film, and we made a lot of money on. Or we well made our return. I had like 3 million rentals. You know, it was like at 2 million before they snapped it off of Amazon. So, which was more than I ever thought would happen, and people loved it, and I didn't like it. I still to this day like. When I watch it, I'm like, maybe I'm just critical of myself, but I didn't really like it. But people enjoyed it, and so with that film, especially, and with the pit, I'm not worried about the money. I want you to enjoy it. I want to tell the story though that I want to tell. You know what I mean? And that's where you lose that, especially when you bring investors in and stuff. They want you to do things a certain way, or they may have an idea. You know what I mean? Which is stray you. Like, I guess the best thing is the Snyder cut, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's the best explanation of kind of what I'm talking about. So you have all these other people, even your friends and stuff, they'll be like, oh, well, it's so good. You should do, and so everybody's trying to steer you. So it's hard to stay on path. But if you just try to make a good movie, or what you would think would be a good movie, like I'm a big fan of Eraserhead. I don't know a whole lot of people that like that film, but I love it.
I liked it too.
I love it, and so that's the kind of style of films that I want to make. And I think The Pit was kind of like that in some ways. And I like playing with the endings, most of that whole back part of the movie was improv anyways. But the ending, I wrote that as we were filming the other ending. I was like, oh, wow, it would be really cool if we did it like this. So I guess at the end of The Pit, a few different people could watch it and come up to their own conclusions as to what just happened.
Oh, now I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Which is not a good thing. A lot of people get pissed by that, if the ending's not clear. But I don't care. I like that's how I like my films. Like Inception ended like that. It was amazing. Yep. The Lighthouse more or less ended like that.
Yeah.
You really didn't know what was going on even there at the end of it. But very raw, an intense situation. How are people going to act? Well, this might be how they act. And then you get to the end of the movie and it's like, I don't know, maybe I see it differently. And that's why I'm interested also to see how the reviews come into how people actually think the ending went. So that I can either be like, yeah, that's exactly how it went. Or actually, well, what I thought when I wrote it was this, so it was fun. I'm just making movies. I enjoy doing it. I'm now making some money at it. So I think I can continue to do it.
That's awesome. And you get better and better and better.
And I get better and better and better. We've started this thing, Outcast Paranormal, where I've been on television, okay? They want you to fake a lot of stuff. They want you to say things, and basically the network is a bank. They're loaning a production company $5 million or whatever to make this show. Well, the bank, they don't want you to just run off and just do whatever you want.
No.
I want you to follow some guidelines. I want to know that it's exciting. I want to know that you're going to find something. And so that kind of takes authenticity away from what you're doing. And so RPG, my buddy that's in it with me, he was on Expedition Bigfoot. And so he knows what I'm talking about, right? And we don't want to be like that because our investigations, when we go, shit always happens. Like, it's stupid. Like, I mean, we did this Bridgewater Triangle investigation, me and my buddy Bill Brock. And we're warned all week about don't go to the forest. There's occult activity and shit. We go out there and come across a sacrificed goat.
Wow.
Like, I was like, dude, we're never going to be able to show this shit. Somebody's going to think we did this.
Yeah.
They're never going to believe we actually found it.
The animal rights people.
Right. So we basically, brought in some cameramen and we're like, all right, hey, we're going to investigate the Mayaka Mookie, which is skunk ape in Mayaka. We're going to interview some people that got very different explanations as to what this creature is. We're going to do experiments for all of them to try and prove it. Because like we have one guy who believes that they cursed him, and he has good reason to believe it. Like when you see it, you're going to be like, oh man, yeah, they may have cursed you, but they may have cursed you. He honestly 110% believes that's what happened. There's another guy who like thinks they were in his head, almost like a machine or something. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the people that just think it was just a normal Bigfoot or like a normal creature. But that one's like the best thing I've done. Like I wish all my films could have started now, you know, and then I could make them because I get better every time I'm doing something. And that one is the best thing I've done so far. It's really good. So it's like Ghost Adventures, but rated R.
Oh, okay.
So RPGs.
Got an edge.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're doing drugs.
It's got an edge.
You know what I mean? Like, well, we're pushing the envelope. So like in one experiment, a mirror gazing experiment, one of the guys does psychedelics to see if we're doing this mirror gazing experiment in a haunted house. It's at a location where there's known Bigfoot activity, UFO sightings, ghost activity. So we're in this haunted house, and hey, let's try to see if maybe we can get the veil a little thinned out. See if we can see anything to the other side.
100%.
I know, I love that. You know, because I think we joke around on our channel. Connor's on here, like, I'm always like, Discovery Channel, they need some real people like us. I'm tired of watching these nice, clean ghost. No offense against Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, and all those channels. Nice, clean, perfect college student people and all that. I want some hillbillies like us, like some real action, some real people, and not set up with fake stuff. Because I used to tell people, you know, by now, Ghost Adventures has been on for like 12 seasons. You think by now, with a little bit of a ghost voice, you won't run as much? You won't scream as much? I think by now you'd be kind of like immune to it. It looks like we lost him, but I'm sure he'll come back.
Yeah, he'll bounce back. Yeah, I love, you know, linking up with Stacy, and then Dr. Wu would love Stacy too, just because we're always micro dosing and macro dosing and tapping into the other frequencies that surround us. But yeah, there should be more approaches that are a R-rated stance on it, because if you go back to the ancient times, the Native Americans and the indigenous people and the first people of Canada and the other Canadian tribes, they were always doing psychedelics and doing mescaline around the fire and really tapping in to the other parts of their brain, because it's really all just electromagnetic frequencies, and these other creatures can see us do the psychedelics, you know. Stacey, I was just mentioning how, you know, the psychedelics, everybody demonizes it, but all it really does is open up other parts of your brain, and that can attract all these other entities and creatures, of course, because it's just vibrations, you know, and if they can see the difference, it will remind them of the Native Americans and probably their own practices.
Well, so okay, we understand or we perceive about 3% of our reality. No scientist will argue that, would you? That means there's 97% of cool shit going around that we don't even know about. So, 100%. You know, like, why can't we try to push that envelope to maybe see if we can put ourselves in a different mindset, whether that be with meditation or psychedelics or whatever, you know, to really get a better view. Just maybe we can't capture it on camera, but we can have a personal experience that we can look at and you know, document that, write it down, like the things that we're seeing that you're telling me it's just from whatever, the drugs or whatever. How do we know the shit's not actually there? Just because you don't see it? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you're opening your pineal gland and perceiving things a little bit better. For the most part, I believe that's your antenna to this
100%.
to these frequencies. That is your antenna. And not to sound like a nut job, but the fluoride that's put in our water, the things that are done to us, are all to suppress that. Why do we make so much effort to suppress that?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I think a lot of times with our dreams, they're just dreams. They're just dreams. I don't know, bud. We spend so much time of our life asleep. So what? 24 hours a day. So that's a third of your day if you get 8 hours that you're sleeping. So it's a third of your life. This can really be called a reality in itself.
Yeah, the visual digital world.
Yeah, but when you're asleep.
Oh yeah,
when you're asleep.
100%. Yeah,
when you're dreaming, when it takes up that much of your life, it is a form of reality to you. You know what I mean? Maybe you're going to a different place. Yeah, maybe that's just deeper into your mind. I can ramble for a while about that stuff, but
well, your pineal gland releases dimethyltryptamine. Dimethyltryptamine is the spirit molecule, the fuel to our dreams, to our soul. The exact second we die, our pineal gland floods internally. And I've done DMT a couple times. Luckily with the crystals. Everybody's done it internally, but I am fully confident that when it floods in your system after, that is the next chapter. And who's to say, this isn't a dream? We've always heard that, of course. And it's all a dream. And you have to just take the manifesting your thoughts literally. And we write in cursive and we spell words. So we better choose our words wisely because it literally becomes true.
So, okay, you know about DMT then. All right. So what happens when you smoke it? Usually the person has to have somebody else light it. They fall back. Usually they're already laying down so they don't get hurt. And they don't do nothing. They just lay there for a few minutes. Correct?
Yep, about 10 minutes, like a kind of coma in a way.
Okay. How odd is it to you for somebody to have a full-blown conversation with something? Okay, so I don't know if anybody's familiar with David Eckert. Okay, he's in Pensacola. He's got all these pictures and shit, and he's been claiming for years aliens have been visiting him. This man on camera has a full-blown conversation while he's under DMT, and he's talking about shit that's relevant to what we're doing. Wow. I'm just saying. Hey, you know what I mean? Like, so we go in with the outcast thing. Like I said, we want to push the envelope. We want to, because like in the trailer for the Mookie experiments, the taboo things are not to be talked about. They're to be ridiculed. All these people are pushing the same thing, and we've all been doing the same thing for about 60 years. We're stagnant. We haven't figured anything else out. You know what I mean? We've got EVPs, but we don't know what the source of the EVPs are. Hell, none of this may be ghosts. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just seem to have accepted some things, and we don't want to push the envelope, see if all this shit's even connected. And that's what this is about. It's about pushing them boundaries, testing all theories, and doing whatever you can. I mean, like, if it wasn't such a big deal, that whole flatliner shit that they did, we would try that.
Yeah. And that kind of stuff has to be pushed, man, because it's tapping into the frequencies that are needed. And 100%, man, I can't wait to see that episode of that guy in Pensacola, just because the power of DMT is so magical. And I bet he says some words that even he couldn't even make up. It takes you to levels and beings and just feelings and fractals that you could only perceive as energy, and you can't really put it into words. So I'm sure some of it is just gibberish. Or more, maybe it's perfectly clear. I don't know, but I bet it's freaking magical because it's on another plane. But to actually capture it real time Wow, that's true vulnerability and pushing the limits, and wow, that's true goosebumps.
Yep.
That's flatline.
You shouldn't
in a way.
you shouldn't have multiple people talking about the portal in the same spot of the house. When three different people come out of a trip talking about the same shit, our trip shit. If we're doing mushrooms, everybody's trip's gonna be different. Okay, you're gonna experience the way this damn desk feels differently than I am. You may see some colors differently than me. You're not maybe gonna possibly see no entities or nothing like that. But then when 3 of you see the portal in the same spot in the house and you come out talking about it, all right, so hey, maybe we should look at that. You know, that's all we're saying. Hey, fucking test everything. Shit, why not? We're not doing nothing but spinning our wheels.
No, I like what you're saying. I agree with you with everything. And everybody in the chat, I don't know, you guys, of course, I don't know, you know, Connor might not have seen this, but we actually did some shows on this channel on dreams. We had a guest on named Carolina Francisca Jimenez, talked about why we dream and the role of dreams and nightmares, and explained to us how dreams are messages. Dreams are telling us something, but we're just so close-minded as a world. We're not listening. We're not asking the right questions. We're not concentrating enough. So we've done a lot of shows about dreaming. So people in the chat, if you guys never seen our dream episode, there's the link. It's very good. This woman was awesome. She's I don't want to call someone a dream expert, but she studies dreams. And she was like, she was actually helping people on our channel about people who have PTSD on some of the techniques to help you with it. So it was very cool. So I love everything you're saying. So you're the pit's done, and you're talking about you got some other projects, but I mean, it sounds like you're a busy person. It sounds like you already got an agenda for the next couple of years of what you're planning to do, but you're probably never going to give up Bigfoot research, right? Because I heard you talking about might be doing a part 2. That's still like your heart and soul.
Yeah. See, so like I want to be a filmmaker for my profession. Okay. And I love because there's going to be no money in Bigfooting. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to get paid to do that. No. And that sucks because that's what I actually love to do. So I also love to make films, and I love the editing process. So, you know, I very much am going to continue to do that. And then, you know, paranormal stuff as well. I've really just, I do the Bigfoot research. That's what I know. The paranormal stuff is more of a break from that monotony after a while, because like the Bigfoot thing is a slow go. It's a slow process. I'm trying to gain trust.
I'm reversed because when I started this channel, it was mostly just paranormal.
Right.
You know, but I love UFO talk. I love Bigfoot talk. You know, I'm a little bit reversed, you know, with paranormal, but I love it all because I always feel that everything is connected. I feel like Bigfoot's connected with the paranormal. Paranormal's connected with Bigfoot. UFO's somehow connected. Everything is connected in a way. And it's fun hearing stories from you, from Connor, from different people from different areas, and trying to pick apart and trying to make our own reality, like our own little truths. Because we all know the media ain't going to give you the truth. We know the news ain't going to get the truth. If I want to know the truth about Bigfoot stories, UFOs, it's going to be people from you, people like you. And you're just not telling stories. You're actually you're showing people footage. You're backing up on what you're saying.
Right. Well, I'm trying to, you know, so it's a fun ride, and you know, people like to watch it, man. So I roll with it, and you know, we just want to document everything, because I'm not going to be the guy that next time I see a Bigfoot, there's not a camera rolling. That's not going to happen no more. So, but that's my dream. My actual life dream is to prove Bigfoot, but we'll see.
I definitely think you've proved it to a fair share of people. There's definitely a lot of people still on the fence, but if they give it even 5 minutes, they'll be pushed over the fence of no return, because you've given footage, you've torn told historical accounts, and then you've talked to credible people, man, and then your boots on the ground. So you're doing an incredible job. You definitely paved the way for people like me. And of course, Outcast Paranormal is something truly special because in this world of black and white and corporate and squares on TV, it brings some flavor. And we have to start thinking outside the box to gain some ground in this subject. So it's nice to have another Outcast out there with me, you know, because there are so many obstacles and gatekeepers in this community and just life. And it's better to be arm in arm with some good MFers, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, I have to work in the morning at like 6 o'clock. So I do apologize, and I don't know what's up with my camera. It just keeps cutting out. So
no, I appreciate you coming up here. This is awesome.
It's all good, bud. I appreciate y'all having me on. And Connor, like I said, we got to get up, man. Got to hang out, bro.
100%. We will definitely hit the creek soon. I want to come down to Wakulla. I don't know if you can see in my background. I have the creature from the Black Lagoon, and right by where Stacy resides now, there are rumors of a volcano and, of course, other sea creatures and monsters. So I just want to tap into it, and, of course, worlds colliding. It was awesome meeting you at the Florida Bigfoot conference, but I know definitely big plans for the future. We got to camp out at Torreya and then hike the Garden of Eden Trail as well.
We do. I've never been to that, and I definitely want to do that. So, because that's another story about this area that people don't know a whole lot about, you know. And with the Wakulla volcano too, you know, that was the thing. That's how they found this place. That's how they found the St. Mark's River from the ocean. Was because of this lingering smoke that was always coming from the Osceola area, which is actually my Bigfoot research spot. And it's a very unique place. I can't promise you would see Bigfoots, but I can almost guarantee you would see like lights.
Yeah,
you know,
I've heard tons of
so very special place that we go to.
There's something down there, man, because that's lined up with Tate's Hell and then the Apalachicola National Forest, and I've heard so many stories of, you know, baseball-sized orbs, pink, green. You know, Donnie Miller was just telling me about it. It's truly remarkable when stories line up as well from different sources that you trust and that life has brought you. So, dude, thanks for crossing our paths again tonight, and we look forward to the future. And, bro, good job on the pit. And I just wanted to mention, too, I bet your dad is, you know, watching very proud from above. He was the set designer. I was asking Stacy real quick. It was called The Pit. You know, it's about these guys that fall in a sinkhole. But, of course, then Les in Survivor Man corrects that because there's a more scientific right term for it. But you watch the movie, get the information. But the state didn't let Stacy film in a cave or an actual sinkhole. So his dad built a mound.
That's awesome.
And then, so they could actually go inside the cave. And
that's awesome.
Stacy, could you describe it just a little bit more?
Yeah. So we cleared out some land on the back, and he built a 20-foot tall cave out of rebar and concrete. So we put this rebar in the ground, we chicken wired and like hardware cloth the whole thing, and then he would mix this concrete to where it was thick enough to where you could stick it onto the walls and it would stay. And so then we had the shell, and then we did the outer shell, and then we got a concrete sprayer and sprayed the insides. And then so he built the tunnels. I think the one tunnel that we're crawling through was about 80 cans of spray foam. And then the tunnel that he is trying to get out of in the film, I think that was another 30 or something like that. But we filmed the whole thing on my parents' property, except a few scenes at the beginning. But when we're in the woods, it's all on my parents' land. And yeah, he built us this damn cave, and there's actually bats that stay in it now. So it's pretty cool. So
well, you want to make a Batman movie, you said you got the bats.
I got the bat cave now. So
100%, man. And I definitely appreciate it again. Your daughter was in the film too. She did a great job. And then your puppy dog. Your puppy's, up there with your dad in a better place. Guardian angels. I'm a big believer in heaven. God created heaven. It's above. It's a physical place. And 1,000 years here on earth. And I'm not trying to get preachy or anything. I'm big onto the spirit. But 1,000 years on earth is one day in heaven. So we'll be there with all our loved ones, whichever religion you are. There is a creator. There is magic. Paranormal is just normal. We are all supernatural, guys. We create dreams and worlds while we sleep, and then we have amnesia when we wake up. And sea monsters exist. Stacy Brown has already proved the skunk ape is alive. And man, it's truly special that, I manifested this. This is truth that magic happens. I wanted this to happen years ago. Once I saw Stacy's movement, I was like, I want to become friends with this dude. I want to talk to this dude. I want to chop it up. I want to earn this dude's respect, and we've came a long way. So thanks again, Stacy.
Yes, sir, brother. Y'all have a good evening.
You have a good one, buddy.
Peace, man.
Peace.
That was awesome.
Yes, Stacy Brown, man. That is awesome. Everybody check out Skunk Ape Lives. It's simple. Just type it in on YouTube. And then Stacy Brown Jr. You can see the thermal footage, and he's done a lot of other incredible stuff. Please rent The Pit, and also check out Interviewing Monsters and Bigfoot. But that's just like Zillafoot for me. It's a fun movie for us to be a part of. But, hey,
that's the link to the Skunk Ape Lives. Hey, guys, it is worth watching because – listen, even for me, I didn't know too much about a skunk ape. I mean, all I know is it's just another name for Bigfoot out in Florida. I didn't know why they call it a skunk ape, and I learned that in the movie, and the interviews were pretty good. So I actually learned a lot because, listen, we all can't know everything. I mean, it's impossible to know everything. There's so many different cryptic creatures. It's easy to know the big ones, the Bigfoot, the Mothmans, I know a lot of people don't even know about the Jersey Devil. I mean, there's so many different stories and theories about different creatures. It's fun just to talk about it because there might be a lot of you in the chat like me, maybe like Chocolate Cheese. You're up in the Northwest. Maybe you're like me. You never heard of the skunk ape. Up here, up in Washington, they're just called Bigfoot and Sasquatch, But that is awesome. And, he says some pretty interesting things about, how people, trying to capture their attention to watch something and all that, or people care. And when I've studied people, I'm pretty good at reading people. I've always been pretty good at reading people. And I don't know, it's always somewhat that a person is a non-believer because I know a lot of people who do believe in it. It's just they don't care. I mean, I'm not saying it in a bad way. They just don't care. They just, work is hard. Paying bills is hard. The last thing I want to do is go down a rabbit hole following Bigfoots, following paranormal, following UFOs. They might be believers. They just don't care, But sometimes doing documentaries is the only way you're going to get them involved somewhat. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, life is crazy. And there's only crazy son of bitches like us who decides to do shows about this. You go out and do adventures, going out traveling and all that, but for some people, they just don't care to. It's not that they're non-believers. It's not their thing.
Yeah, it takes a lot of burden. It's a heavy weight on your shoulders to find out some of this information and to dig deep in conspiracies and things that are being covered up. It's heavy on the mind, body, and soul, and then you're an outcast on society, and your family starts to question you. But yeah, it's definitely taxing and tolling, and it's only a path for the strong-minded and strong-willed. Yeah, man. It's
even doing shows like, oh man, what I'm gonna do Wednesday about? What I'm gonna do Friday about? What do I want to do Thursday about? It's so much, and like, what do I really want to learn? There's a lot that goes through to do a lot of things. It's just not like you wake up one morning and go, I'm going to go out to this place and look for Bigfoot. I'm sure you got to look at the weather report, see if somebody wants to go with you, bring gear.
Yeah, I'm
Everything.
constantly researching. That's the thing. My whole life is the mission, so there really isn't much time off. If I'm watching a movie, it's still research. You hear me talk about movies. It's all that comprehends and incorporates into my stories and my mission. So it's all linked once you see the spider web of connection, 100%.
It's even getting harder to watch some movies because every time you want to watch a movie at home, okay, I'm going to watch a movie, but I'm going to take my laptop, work on the show. Then like, huh, what did I miss? What did I miss? It's hard to multitask nowadays.
But yeah, you'll have to watch The Pit soon, and then you can watch Interviewing with Bigfoot and Monsters. And I thought I overheard Stacy mention that movie was kind of junky. So, but I watched it. I thought it was kind of funny. They sell it at Walmart for like $5.
Talking cheese. My father was a huge believer in Bigfoot. He wasn't. He didn't care too much about UFOs, paranormal, and it makes sense because he grew up in the mountains his whole life, hunting, growing up in Idaho, moving to California. And it is cool to have parents who are open-minded, but it doesn't mean they're open-minded to everything. But that is cool. That is like an extra plus if you got a parent. That's
awesome that your dad was from Idaho originally, because tomorrow we have kind of special. Well, you guys have a special surprise, you and your brother, about Idaho and UFOs. And hopefully, if it times up, I'm going to try to join you guys.
Because put that one together. That's a good one. That's good. That's good.
And I know Ohio will be at least top 10 if the list is pretty accurate. So I'll try to add in my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be surprised. I mean, if you look at, technically, if you look at my thumbnail, it's just a bunch of little circles of the United States of America, and different states have different colors of how many UFOs. So you might not know the number, but if you look at my thumbnail, you can kind of figure out where your state is at.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's kind of a sweet thumbnail. It's like a little show and tell, like, look, United States. Oh, this state's red, blue, red. And it's very interesting where I thought maybe this state would have more UFOs. Like, oh, that one? Oh, wow. How many? Holy shit.
I'm super excited for Friday, though.
I love learning shit like that. Well, Friday,
Don't Breathe comes out. That's what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for Don't Breathe 2 since the first one came out, because Detroit is such a scary city, guys. That's 11 miles straight of abandonedness. And then just imagine right in the middle of that, you're trying to break into this guy's house for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he's a trained killer, and no one can hear you scream.
I'm seeing 2 movies this weekend. I know Friday, because of my daughter, we're going to go see Free Guy.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome, too. I'm super excited for that.
I'm planning to see Don't Breathe either Saturday or Sunday. Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be one of those days. Or maybe I could get out Thursday night. I know they release on Thursdays now past 7 o'clock.
Yep. Yeah, that would be nice.
I want to see it because Don't Breathe was such a surprise. It was just like a surprise, like, guy's blind, but this is a bad motherfucker. I mean, you don't fuck with this guy. And 100%. I'm curious how they're going to pull off a second one. And the trailer looks good, But I'm curious, how can you go on with this kind of a character? But if you could do it.
Yeah, the second one, he's protecting some girl, and then some people, I think, find out about him, and it's going to give more about his character. So I'm really excited.
I am too. And if you guys haven't seen Suicide Squad, I'm telling you, people in the chat, this is the Suicide Squad that you wanted, because this is basically in this Suicide Squad movie, guys. If you've seen it already, they fucking start off quick. I mean, they start off on, the first Suicide. I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't like the ending on how. And I didn't like that, but I liked how the first Suicide Squad, where they gave a story to each person. Well, this one, they did that with a few of them, but then they're just fucking on the island. It's like, it's go time. I mean, fucking. And one of the characters that James Gunn usually always has in his movie I forgot his name. He plays in The Walking Dead. He was the main alien creature in Sliver. I forgot the actor's name.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah, he always likes to have him in his movies, but I was shocked how fast he died. I'm like, oh shit, I thought he's gonna be like a major part of the team, and then you found out that no, like the boomerang guy. I'm like, oh wow, they're bringing him back. Oh, they fucking killed him off.
Yeah, and then Pete Davidson's character got killed off quickly too. Thank God.
The reason we're saying this, guys, come on, it's on HBO Max. You guys all
if they haven't watched it yet by now, I don't care.
No,
what day is it today? Like,
I am gonna say
today's Tuesday. Come on, it's been out for 5 days.
Well, I don't know how people feel about Will Smith. I am gonna say I did miss Will Smith's character. I actually, out of the original Suicide Squad, I actually like Will Smith's character the best. I thought he was actually really good, and now I know he's not in this Suicide Squad, but I know originally that actor Alba, when they originally hired him, he was going to be Deadshot.
Yep.
But the studio says, no, we're going to give you somebody else because we want to keep Deadshot just in case Will Smith ever wants to come back, because he was good in that part. I mean, he was one of the highlights, and I did miss him in this movie, but they did a good job. They pulled it off. I mean, I love Shark Man. I love Shark Guy. He's just like a sweet little shark reading the book upside down.
Sylvester Stallone, man, he did a great job playing the Shark Man. That was awesome.
You know what? I know when they say Stallone was in it, I'm like, which one's Stallone?
Yeah.
Oh, he's Shark Man. Just like in Guardians, what's his name? Van Diesel is actually Groot.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I love Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn was the best. She carried the movie. You know, she was incredible with her acrobatic. Like, that was the first time you actually got to see like superpowers kind of.
Well, they did her right. They didn't try to make her like the star. You know, Alba actor. You know, they made him like the leader of the group. Yep. And she's like part of it. So she kicks ass. It's like sometimes when you take somebody, then you make their whole movie around them. It doesn't work the same. Sometimes they're better as a sidekick versus being the main person. And that's nothing to be sad about. Nothing bad about that. You know, I was hoping to see the Joker in it somewhere, but that's all right.
Yeah.
I like Jay Little's Joker. A lot of people didn't. I actually enjoyed the pimp style Joker.
Yeah, it was cool. A cool modern take on it. But of course he got killed by the edit. But then of course Justice League brought him in, and that was kind of cool too. So, you know, and it's a comic book world. Nothing's ever dead. Nothing's ever over. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and of course Tom Holland all going to be together here soon, and all the Spider-Mans. So,
I'm more excited for the Flash because Michael Keaton is going to be in the Flash. So I'm imagining it in another timeline. Now the question is Michael Keaton going to put on the suit or not? That's the question, right? Is he going to put on the Batman suit in this other timeline? You know, they if they wanted to, they could actually bring Michael Keaton back, because there is comics of Batman Beyond where there's an older Batman teaching the younger one. Yep. You know, Michael Keaton could be the older Batman teaching. I think that'd be something awesome. Batman Beyond, you know, a different universe, kind of like what they're doing now, right? Joker is a different universe than the other DC movies. Why not? Yep. Why not? You give him enough money, he'll do it.
It's 100%, man, 100%. But yeah, man, I'm super excited for the weekend, and I'm super excited for your show tomorrow. Legendary guest today with Stacy Brown. Thanks for sharing your incredible information, and his movies are incredible, you know, and for an indie filmmaker like myself and a small-time actor and Bigfoot researcher, I look at him as like a trailblazer, because he goes out and gets it. He was on that Spike TV show, and then he just sticks his neck out there, and he did a great job, you know, at the Florida Bigfoot conference. His speech was incredible. I, of course, just want to mention, you know, Cheesy Pond Wild Man real quick for anybody that's a first timer on this. One was captured in the 1800s, right at the Ocheesee Pond, not far from Torreya State Park, where Stacy had his footage, not far from my house right now, where I'm recording this second. But yeah, one was captured in the 1800s and then sent to the Capitol, and then from the Capitol to Chattahoochee facility. And then it was kept there for 3 years, and then they buried it after it died. It was on the New York Times, and it's been on a couple other news outlets, and it should be plastered all over the world. But their giants existed, so did the mound builders, sun worshippers. You know, they were buried with copper and gold and rubies. We had kings and queens in America. I don't give a dang about no president.
No. And here's a scene with him talking in his documentary, Skunk Ape. Guys, I just want to play a little bit of it, but I want you guys to watch this. I put this in the chat. I'll do it one more time. Yeah, watch this because I learned a lot about the skunk ape. Like I said, I didn't know what the skunk ape was. All I know, in my mind, I was thinking it must be a Florida thing. They must be naming their creatures, you know. Then I learned about how the first skunk ape was about the smell. It was about the white stripe where it looked like a skunk in a way. But there was one guy in that documentary did mention that he smelled something like that was horrible, but that could be a lot of different things too.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of them do smell bad, just like really bad body odor would smell bad, of course. But the original name came from a white stripe, just like the band. But yeah, Stacy Brown makes that clear, and it's available online, guys, so definitely check it out. It was on Amazon, and it hit that algorithm, man. I remember it was front and center. Skunk Ape Lives. So it's tell your mama, tell your papa. The Skunk Ape Lives, guys. When you're visiting down in Florida, make sure to rile your family members up, but don't go too far off the trail.
Now, I don't remember if you mentioned in the movie if there's been people seeing skunk ape in other states.
Yeah, the skunk ape is pretty popular in Louisiana and Mississippi. So just like he was saying how some of the Bigfoot come down from the Smoky Mountains, of course, some of the skunk apes are going to transfer the swamps. And then you could take the swamps all the way from Louisiana across Texas. And then you get from Texas, you can get into, you know, El Paso and then New Mexico, and then that gets into Nevada. You dive down in the caves, you could see a blend of these creatures, but of course a primary in each of their corners. You know, over in Seattle, they have the big giant Pacific Northwest Sasquatch, just like Patty. Over here in the Florida skunk ape, you know, just like the shorter but stronger type creature, like a stump jumper, kind of like Shrek.
This guy right here saying skunk ape found in Florida cave. Let's hear this guy.
It's Connor, Bigfoot Anonymous. I'm with my buddy Jack, scouting, filming locations for our upcoming movie. And look what I found deep in a cave. You can clearly see the 5 toes and the mid-tarsal break. This is truly incredible.
You know, it's kind of neat. I was looking at this. Of course, guys, Bigfoot's right there. This is his video. It looks like you can see it's a big foot, but it's almost like right there. It's like hands with, you know what I mean? How like between the toes. I mean, that's pretty big. Is that what a normal look of a skunk ape footprint versus other Bigfoot footprints?
Well, definitely the skunk ape can range from little ones, like this one would definitely be a juvenile. This is either a juvenile skunk ape or just a caveman or a homeless person that is really brave, that only left one track in the whole cave. And I don't know why they would ever swim down there. It's impossible to walk there barefoot because you have to go over railroads, through thorns. You got to cross creeks, through, you know, rattlesnake dens, basically. So it's impossible to go barefoot.
Well, that looks pretty big.
It's only about 12 inches long. I actually returned yesterday with the Walking Legend and casted it. The cast is at my mom's house tomorrow, but it's at my mom's house right now. But tomorrow, for the UFO show, if I'm on, I'll definitely bring it because I was having her clean it off because I had a bunch of like mud chunks still in it. But yeah, I actually plaster casted it, and it's not that big, but it is pretty remarkable in the definition on its like the toes, because it's scraped because it was going uphill, and the plaster cast actually got the scrape in it too. But like I said,
without shoes on too.
Yeah. I don't know what the person was doing. If it was a person, it's a caveman. Jack McClellan was with me. We were scouting for a short film that we're doing for a film festival in Tallahassee. I am super pumped, but it was remarkable. And then this one's crazy too. But then on Jack's footage, there's crazy electrical interference, and he got, an hour worth of footage that day, and it's only during that time that there was electrical interference. So it's really crazy. But this, we were going yesterday to retrieve my walking stick, which wasn't there. Someone got it, but hey, I left it behind. It's my fault. Walking sticks are meant to change hands anyway. Ninja Ronnie gifted it to me. It had a ninja on it, or not a ninja, a scorpion tied around it. Scorpion in a pendant tied around a string. So it really made it nice. But someone else is happy with it. But yeah, yesterday we're pulling down to go plaster cast this cave monster, and I see this serpent lurking, and it's a diamondback.
I love how you're just energy on this.
Oh my gosh!
And you can see it curl up. That was crazy. Black predator.
If it starts coming this way, get back in the car. That is the eastern diamondback rattlesnake. It is about 7 feet long and a monster killer. Hey, buddy. He knows we see him, clearly.
Yeah, I was laughing at that today when I rewatched it. I'm like, it's a monster killer. And I'm like, hey, buddy. And it's true, though. I'm not trying to harm this creature, but it definitely took an aggressive defensive stance. And you can hear the walking legend in the background. He was pretty riled up, cussing up a sailor storm. I'm going to have to tell him I'm trying to keep my things somewhat friendly. But that thing was so crazy. We drove past it, and it didn't even budge at all. It stayed the same. I should have made a video out my window of it. But, yeah, it was pretty remarkable. And I have a huge interview, guys, tomorrow night with Bigfoot Odyssey. And they have, like 800 live viewers at a time. So it's going to be a huge moment, for Bigfoot and Non, and just my whole movement. And I went out with Donnie Miller recently, and we had a magical time at the Alamo Cave. And he was nice enough to help me raise some money. And someone actually sent a drone, Errata Cinema, great person out in Louisiana. Thank you so much. And everybody else who contributed to helping me get a GoPro, thank you. I'm definitely going to pay it forward and make the most of it.
And guys, this is the show he's talking about. That's tomorrow. I got it right here. I'll put the link in here so you guys can put a set reminder. And this group is called Bigfoot Odyssey.
Yes, and they are a really famous group online. They started, I'm pretty sure, on Facebook, and they have like 30,000 people in their group. And then they've made so many documentaries, and Carrie Arnold is head of it. And Daniela, she's out in the United Kingdom. She's an incredible producer on the show. It is incredible. The last few episodes, The one guy's name is Kevin. That's actually the Apalachicola Forest, right in between me and Stacy's house. And it's just crazy. He had a whole family of Bigfoot talking to him. Like the female daughter Bigfoot introduced him to the parents. It's some wild stuff. So tomorrow, I'm definitely trying to do something in the woods just so I could have something to fuel me up, for the big interview. Because next to Dogman Encounters with Vic Cundiff, this is the second biggest interview in my life. So I'm really hoping, it goes well, and I just got to be myself. And I'm a Bigfoot researcher. It's the researcher's report. I bring a lot to this. And, look, just tonight, look at this. We chopped it up with Stacy Brown, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm learning from Stacy Brown, Tim the Tracker, Central Florida Bigfoot, Donnie Miller, the best of the best, especially down here in Florida. And just connecting, of course, with you and your brother week in, week out we're jogging each other's mind. And of course, Long Island Bigfoot as well. You know, I have some great mentors in this community.
Look at their views. You're not kidding. 7.6, 8.9, 7.9, 12, 10, 5, 5. Yeah, they get thousands of views. Wow.
It's going to be pretty big. Type in Sleepy Hollow Dogman real quick. That's my biggest one. But sadly, I didn't have my YouTube popping at the same time. Sleepy Hollow Dogman. Yeah. That's my story with Vic Cundiff. And he pre-records it.
Is Dogman one word?
Yeah, one word. It should have still picked it up. There you go. Yeah, that video though that you just clicked, you accidentally clicked the channel.
I'm gonna videos. And you're gonna be on this one too, huh?
No, I was already on it. It was that one.
Oh, you're already on it. Oh.
That was mine.
This 4 days ago?
No, the one Sleepy Hollow one, the first one you had. Go back a few.
Oh, the first one I had.
One more back. Right there.
That's episode 339. Ooh, wow. 45,000 views.
Yeah, flex. But, you know, that's the thing. It's just another Dogman story, man. It's awesome. But yeah, it was an incredible experience. But a lot of these people think I'm like a noob on this. They're like, "Oh man, I heard, you know, is this his first time on live?" Like, are you kidding me, man? Like, you look up Connor Flynn or Bigfoot Anonymous, guys, on Spotify or Apple Music. I've done literally almost 100 interviews with people now. Because I stay active, guys, and I interview people, and then people interview me, and then we get to conclusions. So I'm writing books, Big Brother Bigfoot, Monsters, Mysteries Around the Corner, Eerie Swamps, Road Trip to Eden, and guess what? Tomorrow, my 4th book goes on pre-order because I'm releasing it for my big interview, Bigfoot Odyssey. But Panhandle Pirates, my 4th book, is going to be out there, and there's going to be pictures of me and Stacy in there. And I don't want to push it back, so there won't be any adventures with me and Stacy in there. But he'll be in my next book, best believe. And I'm definitely going to release another one in October. That's my one called Every Camp Has a Crystal Lake, all about my haunted camps and campuses.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the Panhandle Pirates, of course, is about my Panhandle journeys. Of course, South Georgia, South Alabama, and then North Florida. The Panhandle.
I like what you said. Isn't it funny how when you're saying how people think that you're new on the blog, you know, you're brand new, you don't know anything, you know? It's like every time, sometimes we do some shows on Mandela Effect sometimes, and there'll always be somebody making a comment or Reddit, dude, you need to do your research. You need to learn this. Like, dude, you know, my brother and I did shows back in 2016. You know, 6 years ago and stuff before you guys didn't even know shit about it. So it's just like people, no matter what, they always think you don't know nothing. You're brand new, and they don't realize that you've been like yourself. You've been writing books about this a while ago. You might be doing a lot more on your channel you've done before, but they judge you too much of what you're doing now, and they don't look at all the stuff you have done.
Oh, 100%. I've been posting a lot of my videos on Facebook groups recently. So, man, I've been getting harassed. They called that print, a gator print, a bear print. They said I made it with my hands. It's crazy. and then I casted it. It's definitely a footprint. It's either a caveman or a homeless man or a brave swimmer. One of the three. And all of them are honestly cool and worth casting. So I'm proud of it. It's very cool, but it's not a gator print. So anybody that agreed with that, that's silly. And then a bear print, I could see them maybe thinking that. But once they see the cast, you know, then it's like, come on. But man, it's definitely a journey online, and people tear you apart. And I have one video. investigating the falling water Sasquatch, and it's been taking off. It has like 6,000 views or something. And in my videos, you'll know it right away when I say it. Hey, y'all, it's Connor from Bigfoot Anonymous. That's my intro, you know? And I say that pretty much 95% of the time. Hey, y'all. And like I'm from the north, but I've moved around the world, and I'm big on screw language. Like I'll talk how I want to talk. It's my dialect, you know. But I wanted to change it up. One dang video, I say yo yo, and people know. Like if I'm saying yo yo, I'm not trying to be, you know, gangsta fabulous. I'm just trying to be fun. And if you want to go back to the Bible, Josiah. Come on, the healer. So yo, it hits you on another level, and they tell us yo is dumbed down, and that's what they're trying to hide, actual real root to the word. But they're judging me like, yo, the guy's first thing he says is yo, he already lost my attention. And other people are like, I want to smack him in the face. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm out there in the rain looking for a Sasquatch, telling you about a historical, you know, legend like that happened right there, and people are still gonna get worried about yo. Like, oh my god. And then he's like, well, if your teacher said yo, and I'm like, it's YouTube, we're not in class. And I said, read the dang books if you don't like my slang, you know. What a little pansy. And then one of my videos on TikTok has 15K in like 3 days. Pretty cool. It's the one about the Bigfoot construction at Walmart.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? You don't know what certain videos, some videos just like goes off. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
I knew if that one had a fair shot, it would, just because it's such an outrageous story. But that's the same one. A lot of people are harassing me on that one too, because the guy tells me they ran off some Sasquatch when they built a Walmart. But the same guy also witnessed a UFO drop off 500 people in town. Like I said before in the other show, I could have left that part out just to strengthen the Bigfoot tale. But no, I gave everybody the full picture because I wanted them to get the whole bowl of the cereal, you know? So, people are outrageous, man. It's hilarious. But I am so pumped for tomorrow. I'm stoked. It's going to be a huge day. Oh, man.
The only reason I was showing this here is, like you said, you just never know what video hits. Because I have this one video called What Dreams May Come. It was nothing special, but for whatever reason, it's got 11,000 Ks on it.
Heck yeah. Robin Williams, man.
I just don't. And I just you know, you don't know why. It's like I have a video with Martin Lewinsky. He's big in the flat Earth community and researching, you know, 2.6. I can see that getting 11, but you just don't know what's big or not.
Yeah, it's all about hitting the algorithm and the supporters, man. Comments.
Somebody sent me What Dreams May Come. Somebody sent me this message on it. It goes, this guy wrote, "You're a motherfucker." I'm like, what do you mean I'm a motherfucker? I thought this was the Robin Williams movie. Like, what? Did you see that my face was on that body? I don't look nothing like Robin Williams. This guy was like cussing at me. I'm thinking, oh, is that video hit 11,000 because people think it's the Robin Williams movie?
It probably happened for some of it, but it also, you guys are doing the breakdown on it, right? Is that what the video is actually about? You guys are talking about What Dreams May Come?
Yeah, we're talking about dreams.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I used to do that on Hot New Hip Hop. Back in the day, you used to be able to upload your music, and I would put it under like Lil Wayne back before they, you know, fixed the system. And people would click on it, and I'd get hundreds of thousands of plays before they'd take it down. And I'd just be like, yeah. And everybody was flagging it and threatening to kill me. But hey, they were hearing it, and that's all about it. You know, it's hustling. It's breaking the code. It's Neo in the Matrix, man. That's what it's about.
No, it is. Nah. I like having people like Stacy on, and we had that Mark Cuban on for the Hoodman. And sometimes I love just hearing on what does it take to get a movie off the ground? That's always interesting. Like how do you get a movie off the ground? How do you search? I mean, we didn't get in that depth with Stacy because I wanted to hear his movies. We only had it for an hour, but it takes a lot. He knows how to talk to people because it's not easy to probably get backing, to fund a movie. That's a lot of work. And like I said, his dad built the cave hole, but I'm sure that wasn't cheap.
No, it definitely wasn't. Yeah, it was all DIY, but it was all self-funded as well. And yeah, man, he's a hustler. And when I met him at the Florida Bigfoot conference, he was hustling and bustling, had a table, was taking pictures with people, selling his DVDs. He's awesome, man. And he asked me to, join Outcast Paranormal. And of course I obliged, man, because that's right up my alley. Trying different things, other methods, psychedelics, and tapping into these other frequencies and maybe trying to connect to these other deities that surround us, because most other people aren't even, approaching those circumstances. So yeah, it's special. It's special, man. It's a good connection.
It is. That's why I like what he was talking about. I liked it because you shouldn't have to stick yourself just into one community. You want to connect. That's why my topics are always different every show. I don't want to do an all Mandela Effect show, an all Bigfoot show, UFOs. I think they all connect, and I want to talk to different groups. Now there is bad things about doing that in a way, because if you do shows on YouTube, it's proven that if you're all about the views, then you stick with the one main subject and you do your show after. But I can't do that. I don't want to talk about one thing over and over again. It's just too fucking boring. Yes, I'm missing out on getting that one community to all come back. By doing what I do now, it's like, okay, he's doing paranormal today. I'll go for that show. But I won't go there for Bigfoot. I won't go there for UFO. But I'm hoping one day that with your work, everybody's work, we can get percentages, all these different communities into one. Because it does connect.
100%. I can't imagine being one of those people that divide it, oh man, I can't listen to that.
Paranormal stuff, I fucking loved it. That means he's open to everything.
Yep, he is, man. And yeah, we still got to watch his Roswell movie because it's hard as a creator. Of course, you see all your imperfections, but no one else sees it. They would just see the documentary.
I know what he's talking about.
Knowing that he filmed that 3 months before Skunk Ape Lives, as film guys like me and you, come on, we got to watch that. That's awesome.
There's a lot of people like him, and there's a lot of people like myself and stuff. Like when I'm done with the show, I'm the type of person that cannot watch it again. I move on to the next one. I can't watch myself. Bob, my brother, when he's done with the show, he'll go to the room and he'll rewatch it. That's his personality.
Yeah,
I can't rewatch. I just can't.
I like rewatching some parts, but some parts it drives me crazy. I'm too hard on myself.
Because you're right. Exactly. I think I'm too hard. I'm like, oh my god, I sound like shit. I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have done that. Oh no, I interrupted this person. I interrupted that person. It's just like I'm done. But Bob,
you have to just survive it.
And I'll hear him laughing and enjoying him. Like I wish I could do that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I some of them I like rewatching, especially some parts. But yeah, sometimes it drives me crazy. But that driving crazy part is also like a good feeling too, because at least you're pushing yourself to the limit, And when you hop out of your comfort zone, and people know, especially through Zoom and all this, interruptions are going to happen just because it's just weird timing. That human being aspect gives you a little bit more feeling to it, but we all roll with the punches, especially when we're in this paranormal field. We're already thinking outside the box. So yeah, man, that's freaking special.
Oh, what does he say here? Yep, 85 in the shade, going good. Johnny Depp once said the same about himself up on the screen. Yeah. He said he can't even rewatch himself.
Movies and songs though, I like rewatching it. But these podcasts and especially radio podcasts, yeah, it drives me a little crazy. And I love reading the chat though and seeing everybody. Like tomorrow is gonna be crazy. I hope you can make it in the chat for Bigfoot Odyssey. You'll definitely have to make me look good, you know.
Yeah, what time? What time is that one? I had it up here. Let me go back to it. Let me see what time it starts.
It's 7 o'clock my time, so probably 5 o'clock your time, I think.
Is it 5 o'clock? Let me see here.
Think so.
I mean,
It's gonna be pretty major though. And it's a pretty short show. It's like an hour, maybe hour 20 minutes they'll give me. But man, it's super cool. Like I've been waiting on this moment, manifesting it. And Kerry Arnold, he's had face-to-face encounter with the Sasquatch. And the one he describes, I've seen like in my freaking dreams, like a dark face, sunburnt creature, flat face, Ray being really scary. And Daniela, I was on her show, Hidden Existence, before. I just called into her show and kind of wreaked havoc, but she's awesome, and I think she can put up with me.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock.
Nice.
That's perfect. Yeah, I'll be listening to it in a car because I'm gonna be a soccer mom tomorrow. I'm driving my daughter and all her some of her friends to volleyball camp.
Heck yeah, man. I love volleyball. It's an awesome sport. Maybe you should get them on the spike ball because that's the future. You've seen that with the little trampoline, how you get 3 hits and stuff.
For doing what you love to do.
Thanks, bro.
That's awesome. No, that is awesome.
It really just drives me because what else would I be doing? You know, I can't just live in a square box all day. I have to be that inspiration. And sometimes I fall on the outside, you know, the cool kids and the family members look at me kind of sideways, but I meet good people along the path and that definitely strengthens me. But I just love like history and so much of it gets swept under the rug. We half showed that one video of me in a cemetery. Mary Nepper, the girl got buried alive and grave diggers ended up finding her body. And she sat up. Like, I love telling stories like that. And it's a local story that, you know, a lot of people know around here. But around the world, no one's heard that. So it's cool to share your own personal stuff. And, you know, me, I'm just trying to get footage. And, you know, I watch movies all day and just try to share my take on it and my collection of spider webs. You know, I've done a lot of psychedelics and talked to some interesting people. So I have some unique attributes that come together and, you know, hopefully you guys can learn a few things, but be entertained at the very minimum.
Yeah. So somebody's asking, why am I not with any paranormal groups? You know, for me to do a paranormal group, I actually have to do my own because believe it or not, I have reached out to different paranormal groups, and not one of them will take me. Not one of them. Not one of them want me to join because as soon as you talk to them, they ask, you know, do you have any, you know, disabilities and stuff? And I say, you know, I have hearing issues and all that. Once you mention hearing issues with paranormal groups, they want nothing to do with you because they think you're going to miss the sounds. You're going to miss this. So if I want to do something paranormal, I'm just going to have to do it myself. I'm going to have to do, you know, get myself equipment because I've actually tried with 6 groups. Not one of them. They said that, you know, we need people with 20/20 eyes and 20/20 ears. Now, I got 20/20 eyes, but I don't have 20/20 ears. So they won't take you. And it's like, you know what? And then one group says, well, we have to think about it. And the thing is, once somebody says they have to think about it, fuck no. Because the energy's not there. If they're not excited for you to join, fuck it. So you know what? I'm going to do my own.
Yeah, that's 100% fair. And I don't know about those people, but they should do some research. Missing 401, a lot of the people that go missing or just have strange anomalies, they are hearing impaired or vision impaired or have some other kind of disability. So those creatures definitely can sense that too. So any smart group would actually want to have someone with some kind of disability in their group that is fully functional and a full viable option. So, wow, their loss, you know, but all the more reason Gypsy Road,
Yeah,
Bigfoot Anon. We have our own movements,
Fuck
and
'em.
you know our movement is a community. We represent more than us. We're just the head of the spear.
Yeah, let me see. Their loss, other sins are like the shepherd. Yeah, you know, and you get sense of people when you talk to them, and you know, when you don't feel the energy, you don't feel the energy. You know, I got a lot of plans when Bob comes back for his month from the UK. We got a lot of plans that we're going to hit certain places and all that. You know, it's believe it or not, you know, a lot of these places that say they're haunted, and if you want to do paranormal research there, you know, like walk around at dark, you got to pay. It's almost a business. It's like an inner business. You ever heard of that place called Mackey's? You know, the famous haunted bar that's out there in the Midwest.
I may have, yeah. I've probably seen some videos on it.
Yeah, you got to pay to do research there.
Makes sense.
It's almost like you know, you saw those TV shows about those jailhouses. You got to pay to do research, and it's just like it doesn't feel real if you have to pay to go on a site and do research. It just doesn't sound right.
Well, paying probably weeds out the crazies, because if it was free, then every freaking high school club would do it, you know. So you gotta have some kind of stipulation. You know me though, I'm the cheapest MFer in the world, but so I would try to find a loophole. I'd be like, sir, I'm a published author, sir. You self-published, you know.
We'll sneak in. We'll sneak in.
That's part of it, 100%. That's how the good horror movies start.
It's all that. So, guys, yeah, we're basically at 10:58. I know it's getting pretty late out there, but you know, tomorrow's topic on the Gypsy Road channel. I know we're talking about UFOs again, but this time we're going to be studying on the out of the 50 states, what are the top states with the most UFO sightings, and what are the worst UFO sightings? And then once we know what are the top, maybe we're going to try to break down. Well, let's see if there's a Bigfoot percentage of sightings. Now, of course, not every sighting gets reported, so it might not be 100% accurate, but it'd be kind of neat to see with charts. Is there a connection where there's more sightings with this and this here? Or it might be the total opposite. It might be all UFOs and Bigfoot might be less. I mean, we don't know. That's what we're going to research tomorrow. So it's going to be a research type of show tomorrow.
Heck yeah, I'm really excited. If I'm not hiking, I will definitely be with you guys. But no matter what, I'll be providing the content. So anybody, guys, that's here that's not subscribed to me, please subscribe to me because big things are coming. Got a big interview tomorrow. About to hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, so that will open me up for some more freedoms, and that'll be very cool. I'm going to start hosting lives in my own show. So, of course,
I've never heard of Bigfoot Odyssey, so this is going to be new for me too.
Yes, they are very official, and they do this thing called the 168 that they invite all the best researchers down, and then they stay down in the Florida swamps for 168 hours, and they gather information and evidence, and it's a documentary, and you have to apply to be in it. So I'm kind of late on the bus too. Hopefully next time I'm going to be on it, so that'll be very cool. Tim Turner, though, Tim T, the tracker, who I stayed with, he is actually on it. And then Tippa TV, who, we're good friends with, that's who I was mentioning before. They are the videographers for the next 168. So they're good friends with Bigfoot Odyssey too, and they're part of that family. So it's going to be worlds colliding tomorrow. Again, it's one of the biggest days of my life. I hope all you guys are there to support, because it means a lot. I won't be looking at the chat. I will be on the StreamYard. That will be too crazy for me to my heart is going to be bumping. I'm going to have to chill out.
Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. I'll text them on the side or Instagram. Hey.
It is really crazy. Like when I get interviewed by other people, my heart, I still get a little nervous. But here, I'm very thankful that Eric has opened up, this place to be a safe haven. And I am a co-host in this show, and that's how I approach it, and that's how I feel. You know, there's no pressure. It's just me and Eric hanging out, and it's a freaking great time. I look forward to it literally every week, and I know that they pile up. So, like, years from now, as long as we got power, we're going to have awesome footage, and that's when you can re-watch it, when you totally forget what you gave, you know?
And one day, Discovery Channel is going to go, we got to get this Gypsy, this Bigfoot, and this Dr. Wu fucking together. And hey, you never know. You never know.
Hey, the Discovery already reached out to me, and we were supposed to be on Expedition Unknown or Expedition X, and it got pushed back. So hopefully down the road, and, you know, I'll mention Gypsy Road, of course. But yeah, man, and if it's not the Discovery Channel, it's us. Look at Stacy Brown. You know?
I just use Discovery Channel because I actually like their streaming service, because they got documentaries, they got UFOs, Bigfoots, and I'm not saying they're telling the truth of everything, but it's still fun to pick up the pieces with different episodes, different shows. So
that's the pinnacle too. Yeah,
you feel comfortable? Damn straight, you feel comfortable. Damn straight. But beyond that, guys, I guess we'll get going and watch tomorrow, and definitely watch the Bigfoot Odyssey show. I'm definitely gonna watch it. Now I'm gonna be watching it from the car. So hopefully, but actually the I-5 traffic is so fucking bad, I'll be able to text and drive.
Yeah.
Just joking. But beyond that, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Take it easy, guys.
See ya.
Have a good night.